F123 sits at a bit of a crossroads. After the disappointment of F122, you'd think many would be turned off of this year's release. However, an exciting real-life season has reignited the passion for F1 once more. Combined with some serious upgrades and some new and returning features, F123 could, and should, capitalise on this. So does F123 provide the racing thrills reminiscent of the sport? Are there enough innovations to warrant paying full price? And can the series win back those still feeling let down from last year? Let's find out, shall we? I'm Mark from RacingGames, and here's our F123 review. The biggest feature mentioned in the pre-release marketing is the new handling model. The short of it is this: the new handling and physics changes are terrific. Cars feel more nimble, providing you've got the right setup of course, and the throttle in particular feels much more realistic and less likely to throw you into a spin. You can still lose the rear of the car by getting too greedy with your inputs, but you won't be spinning out by trying to copy the gear choices of real-life drivers anymore. As a result, we are likely to see some changes to style and lines at the top end of F1 esports, though for us mere mortals out there, it will just be about relearning the brake and throttle balancing act. This could be jarring after having to adjust for F122's erratic handling, but if you're able to put your F1 2021 head back on, you should get to grips with things pretty quickly, and quite literally too. Check out our full video on F123's new handling by clicking the card on screen now. Outside of the handling, the biggest thing Codemasters is giving fans this year is F1 World. This new mode absorbs the woefully underwhelming F1 life of F122, along with Grand Prix and Time Trial, to create a new style of F1 play. In F1 World you get your own car, but this is not like My Team. Instead, it is much more like FIFA's Ultimate Team. You have 4 upgrade slots for your car, offering you the chance to add parts like rear wings for a downforce improvement or engine power boost. Then there are 4 more slots for your team that can provide more strategic, one-off boosts in races, such as reducing tyre wear during certain periods of a race or altering the weight of the car when tyre wear reaches a certain amount. Your car receives a score in the form of your tech level, with higher being better, and there are a whole host of secondary items to collect. For want of a better word, they are in-game currencies. These are cash, insight, setup data, and more. As you complete laps in Time Trial or finish Quick Start Grand Prix, you will accumulate these currencies, while upgrade items can be claimed by completing challenges and events in F1 World Series. In F123 you can't purchase anything with real money in F1 World, however this does feel like the inevitable end goal of the mode, Ultimate Team for Formula 1 games. We've been assured this won't be the case for F123, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. You can check out our full thoughts on F1 World by clicking the card on screen now. While F1 World offers a new way to play the game, Career Mode and My Team offer exactly the same way to play as they did last year, and the year before that come to think of it, with basically no innovation or changes to the experience at all. Codemasters pretty much made that clear that this would be the case in their total lack of pre-release hype for the traditional single player modes, but it is still disappointing to see. The biggest change is that it is now Natalie Pinkham doing the introductory interview in My Team rather than Will Buxton. Everything from the menus to the R&D and then layout of your livery and helmet designs is the same. We've said this previously, and it's worth repeating here. The F1 Career Mode experience is a good one, perhaps even a great one when you look at its rivals, but a lack of any meaningful change year after year just grates. Good does not equal perfect, and despite the mode being solid, it is still crying out for an update of some sort just to freshen things up. If you are a career mode player, then the only reason to move from F122 to F123 is a couple of new tracks and drivers and the new handling. Now, is that worth the price? For a lot of people, no, it won't be. The final part of F123's big pitch to fans is the return of Breaking Point. Aiden Jackson and Devon Butler are teammates at the newly entered Connor Sport Racing team. Leaning heavily on Drive to Survive, and definitely drawing comparisons to last year's Grid Legends for some of its presentation and cutscenes, it's definitely a welcome addition to the game. It is easy to fall into the same rhythms with the cast of characters that we did in F1 2021. However, the story, characters, and drama is a step up from F1 2021. The familiar beats of Jackson and Butler are easy to fall back into, but the new characters like Team Principal Andrea Connor and CEO of Butler Group Davidoff Butler are great additions. We won't spoil the story for you, but there are plenty of twists and turns as you once again take on multiple perspectives within the story. One aspect that does let Breaking Point down is its isolation. We get to know these characters, but outside of Breaking Point they are unavailable to race as or against. What made F1 2019's feeder series so much fun was then getting to compete against Butler and Lucas Webber throughout career mode. While there are My Team icons you can use in F1 23, the Breaking Point characters aren't going to pop up in a Williams or a McLaren. You can't add Connor Sport to your career mode grid and just have Jackson and Butler battling with you, and that's a real shame. Codemasters has gone to the trouble of making an engaging and really well executed story mode, and then just boxed it in with very minimal options to include it elsewhere. You can run the Connor Sport livery and look in My Team in F1 World, but that's about it. Want to see our full opinion on Breaking Point 2? Yeah, you know what to do by now. F1 23 is everything we have come to expect from Codemasters as well as EA. It has a fun and enjoyable addition in Breaking Point, even if the difficulty settings are still a frustration, and an interesting addition in F1 World. For all their lack of new features, the single player modes still deliver the same Formula 1 thrills as before, and offer the best career mode experience around. The new handling provides a fresh challenge for players to adjust to, and makes the cars more enjoyable to drive, while the new graphical direction adds to the differentiation from F1 22 and improves the whole aesthetic of the game. The changes to ranked multiplayer, though obviously untested as of yet, should be an improvement, but the deafening silence around hacks and cheats in the game will still be of concern to those looking to compete at the sharp end of leagues. Ultimately, F1 23 will be made or broken by F1 World. On the surface, everything looks great, but if microtransactions are introduced, it could very quickly descend into a pay-to-win model. Again, we've been told this won't be the case, but with continued EA-ification of the series, it could just be around the corner. Are you enjoying F1 23, or do you think it's just F1 22.5? Let us know down below, and why not subscribe to the channel while you're there to be the first to see our setup guides for every track in the game. For now though, thanks for watching. I've been Mark from RacingGames, and we'll catch you here on the channel for another video soon.